Okay, today's video won't just be full of traps, but it will also be very informative and mature. So get your pen and notebook if you can, or continue watching this video for now and add it to your watch later playlist for a later review. Alright, so I'm here to reveal to you some top secrets in the Italian game that they never teach you nowadays. For whatever reasons, the move is pawn to e4, ladies and gentlemen, and we're looking at the e5 response on move 1. So you go knight to f3, they'll play knight c6 and bishop c4, the Italian game. This is what I want to simplify for you guys, teaching you every important stuff that you need to master in this opening. So I just turned on the Lichess database so that I can only be showing you the top played moves. You can see bishop c5 is what everybody plays, which introduces the Giuoco piano, and here we have an option to play pawn to d3, which we're looking at in this video. Highly recommended for beginners and intermediate level players. So far we haven't developed any of our queenside pieces. We just decided to close the pawn structure on the center, and that's the only thing you need to know. Right, one major secret that I want you guys to always keep in mind when playing my Italian recommendation: do not think of castling short anytime soon. So after pawn to d3, knight to f6 is the top played move you can see, and since you haven't already castled short, this is the special case where I recommend to play bishop g5 immediately. Spoiler alert, we want to trade our dark squared bishop. Period. For example, pawn to h6 is by far the top played move. Bishop takes to keep it so simple. Kiss. Queen takes f6 is the top played move, and now you develop knight c3. So you can see what we are doing. We finished our kingside development first, and now we want to complete our queenside development next. So after knight c3, pawn to d6 is by far the top played move, and now we can see the idea of playing knight c3 on the previous move to plant our queen's knight on d5, attacking the queen and the c7 pawn. The top played move is queen d8, and now here is the key move, ladies and gentlemen. It is not castle short or queen d2 or queen e2. The key move in the Italian game is pawn to c3, especially at this stage. This one move, ladies and gentlemen, makes you win the game right here. And it's hard to believe. You can see the top played move is bishop e6, which is a losing mistake, and most of your opponents won't know because they are not my subscribers. And so once you see bishop e6, just know you have won the game. Here is where most white players tend to throw away their advantage so early in the opening stage. They play pawn to b4, which is an inaccuracy. The key move here is d4, you guys, attacking the bishop and the pawn. If e takes d4, the top played move, you simply take back with your c-pawn. I know you were afraid of bishop b4 check, but that's losing due to knight takes b4. And again, if knight takes b4, which is what they do, you're going to win a piece after queen a4 check, Kaspar's signature move. If black thinks he can save the knight while blocking the check, you have pawn to d5, and black will surely lose a free piece right here. I mean, even if black decides to take our light squared bishop instead of taking the knight like this, well, you have knight takes c6, and after bc, the move is not queen f4. Use your mind. So the key move to remember right in this position is queen c2, which sets up a nasty trap that most of your intermediate level players are going to fall for. For example, if bishop b5, that bishop is dead because of pawn to a4, and after bishop a6, you have queen takes c6 check, and you win that bishop for free and you'll be up a piece. Instead of bishop b5, if black plays pawn to d5, well, once again you just continue chasing that light squared bishop until you take on c6 and win it on the next move. So clearly bishop b5 and pawn to d5 doesn't work in this position. If black tries to play bishop e6, you can just go ahead and take the free pawn on c6 with check, and let's say bishop d7, you just go queen c3, let them castle short. Now that black has castled short, this is when you can decide where you want to castle, either queenside or kingside. I like going short in this position just to avoid complications. If rook e8, let your rooks be behind your advanced pawns, and from here Stockfish thinks you have a clear winning advantage. So remember where it all started from. It was after you played pawn to c3, the key Italian opening move, where black blunders immediately with bishop e6. And once again I said pawn to b4 is an inaccuracy. You need to go pawn to d4. So we just saw how bad e takes d4 is. because in most lines, black will just end up losing a free piece. We looked at all this. So what if black doesn't take with his e-pawn, but let's say they just choose to save their dark squared bishop? Well, this is the biggest blunder of all time. Now you have knight takes b6, instantly winning a free piece. If you think bishop takes c4 saves the game, well, we can just take that bishop back, and now we are up a full knight. So this is clearly winning for white once again. I mean, even if black doesn't take with a bishop, and let's say they take your knight, well, still black is going to lose a free piece once again. After pawn to d5, double attacking the knight and the bishop. If they play knight a5 counter-attacking your bishop, you can save your light squared bishop, because once again black is losing a free piece in this position. Even if they try to save their light squared bishop, well, you can just go pawn to b4 and black's knight is trapped. So this should explain to you guys how powerful this combination is in the Italian game. I mean, after black plays bishop e6, the top played move, that's the whole secret. Now, what if black doesn't play bishop e6 after you play pawn to c3? Let's say they just castle short. Or sticking to our main plan, again, don't castle short. You can delay castling as long as you want until developing the last piece, which is your queen. For example, you can still go pawn to d4. After pawn takes, you take back. If they play bishop b6, just get rid of that bishop. If they take back, you always want to gain some more central space in the Italian game given a chance. If knight e5, you just simplify the game, and that's when you castle short. How easy was that? Come on, you guys. This structure is very good for you. Equally, after pawn to d4, if they play bishop b4 check, you can still get rid of that bishop. Knight takes. Now this time you don't have queen a4 to win a free piece, so you can just attack that knight. See how your king is still on the center of the board because it's not under any threat. The position that you're looking for in the main lines is why you advance your d-pawn, gaining some more central space, and after knight e5 you take that knight and castle short. So once again, you can see this beautiful pawn on d5 and the pawn on e4. That's how you gain some central space in the Italian game. Because you delayed castling short, see how you are ahead in development. This is so good. So that was all in the castle short line, and we've already looked at the top played move bishop e6, which is a losing mistake. Let me run you through the moves one more time so that they stick into your mind to avoid memorizing. You start with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight c6, bishop c4 the Italian, then bishop c5 the Gioco piano, and then you go pawn to d3. Just some simple stuff for you guys. Again, you always see them playing knight to f6, after which you go bishop g5, intending to trade off your bishop after pawn to h6. There are times when black may just castle short very early, which is even more dangerous, you guys. So in this case, since your dark squared bishop is not under attack, you don't have to take immediately. This is what we mean by keeping the tension. So you are keeping tension along this diagonal, you guys. Just continue developing your other moves that are not developed. That's what you're supposed to be doing in the opening stage. For example, instead of castling short anytime soon, there is this knight maneuver to think of that will win you most games, e.g. knight bd2. If pawn to h6, since black has already castled short, you don't need to take, even though that's fine, but you maintain the pressure. If pawn to g5, you have bishop g3, and later on you're going to castle long. If d6, don't worry about this, because that's what you're looking for in order for you to start advancing your kingside pawns like this. I mean, that's another benefit of not castling short early. So the move that you want to play in this position after pawn to d6 is something like queen e2 or pawn to c3, even better, because if bishop g4, now you start your kingside pawn storm immediately. That's another benefit of not castling short. Bishop g6, g5, you just break open the g file for your king's rook. Queen d7, rook g1, let's say queen takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, and now the bishop on g6 is free because the f7 pawn is pinned by our light squared bishop. You don't have to memorize these moves. Just know they can occur once you delay castling short and pawn to h3. Anyways, back to our Gioco piano position. After we play pawn to d3, you already know our plan of trading off our dark squared bishop on f6. but at times black may try to delay the move knight to f6 as long as they can and rather play the second most played move pawn to d6. Knight g5 doesn't make a lot of sense because black can play knight at 6. So just keep everything simple. Again, go bishop g5 as if black's knight is already on f6. After f6 you can just play bishop e3 and maybe in the long term you even castle long. But after bishop g5 anyways, you will see some of your opponents playing knight to f6. You don't have to take the knight immediately because your bishop is not under any threat. Just go knight c3. If pawn to h6, that's when you can now trade off your dark squared bishop and play knight d5, and it's here where you're going to see most of your opponents playing queen d8, defending their c7 pawn. Alright, this is all for today you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If at all you did, be sure to hit the like button and do subscribe to my channel if at all you haven't already. That will encourage a lot. And you can also check out my courses at www.casperchess.com. Sign up for my free masterclass and gain access to my free mini courses playlist. You will find everything on my website, and I highly recommend to study my Caro-Kann defense course and the semi-Slav. For white, you can try my English opening course. It's all there on my website. And good news, I'm working on my new E4 course, taking as much time as I can to perfect it and present it in the most simplest way that even a layman can easily understand. Alright, thank you for watching my video once again. Until next time, bye bye.